I'm Joachim Fredrics of Bergen Belcanto Studios, and I'm here today to show you some breathing exercises that may be helpful for your general health and also helpful to you in case you should be coming down with COVID-19, which I hope will not be the case. I am not a medical practitioner. I'm a singing teacher who has been teaching people how to sing and breathe for many years, and I hope the exercises that I'm going to show you will be helpful to you. I will begin by demonstrating how to take a diaphragmatic breath. The diaphragm is a large dome-shaped muscle under the lungs which lowers when you breathe in, creating a vacuum that causes air to fill your lungs. The opposite happens when you breathe out. Your diaphragm relaxes upward, pushing on your lungs, letting them deflate. If you do not relax your body and release your abs, you will only take air into your upper chest and will not utilize your full lung capacity. If your lungs are compromised with edema, it is especially important to breathe deeply and fully. Taking shallow breaths and pulling in air will not be very helpful. You must release your abs, lower your diaphragm to breathe slowly and fully. So the first thing you have to do is release your abdominal muscles. Now you already know how to do that. When you go home at night or you've had a hard day, you might just relax your body and let your air out. You've relaxed your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm has also relaxed. What you need to do is relax those abdominal muscles and at the same time take the air. So you're going to feel that feeling of letting go and releasing and then taking the air in. Like that. And you will feel expansion 360 degrees around your body if you have done it correctly. One way to trick your body into taking a low breath is to empty your body of all of its air, which will then create a vacuum in your body, which is having space and no matter in it, and the air will rush in. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. I'm going to blow out 100, and I'm going to think of it as 110% of my air. And then I'm going to take a breath. And then I take a low and complete breath. This will probably feel a lot different than you normally feel when you take a breath. Doctors are recommending some very specific things about body positioning while doing the breathing exercises. One of the things they are saying is to do the breathing while on your stomach. There is a way to simulate that same effect while sitting. The reason why they want you on your stomach is to expand the lower back and the back ribs. And often when you do the stomach exercises, which we will show as well, pillows are put underneath your hips to expand the lower ribs. All you need to do is a self-hug, bend forward while taking a deep breath, and release. And I will show you. One way to be sure that you're taking a low diaphragmatic breath, which you might not be used to taking, is to do a side pinching exercise. You take your hands and you put them at your waist and you pinch yourself at the side of your waist. Then you breathe in through your nose very slowly and you feel the air filling your body, like this. If you're doing it right, your fingers should separate like that. The next exercise I'm going to show you, I like to call the Ragdoll exercise, but actually some people do call it lung vacuuming. So again, we're going on the principle that the diaphragm works with negative pressure and we are ridding the lungs of their air in order to take a full and complete breath. So now I will demonstrate the Ragdoll exercise. The first thing you want to do is make sure your body is very, very loose, and you're going to flip over with your neck relaxed, exhaling all of the air from your body. You will take a full and complete breath when you are flipped over, and in that position you will be able to take that breath. And then you will come up exhaling. I'm going to do it on a big long S. I'm exhaling and flipping over. Now I've shown you that exercise much faster than you should do it at home. And if you're feeling dizzy, I would suggest not doing this exercise standing, but also just doing it sitting. The one thing you want to make sure that you don't do when you're coming up with the Ragdoll exercise is to tense your neck and come up this way. You don't want to do that. You want to roll over and roll back. So like this. And come up like that. So the next positional breathing exercises I'm going to show you are done lying down. The first one I'm going to show you is lying down on your back. If you are already sick with COVID-19, I would not suggest doing that. But if you are well and you're trying to increase your breathing capacity, I would suggest doing that. Lie on your back with your knees up and the small of your back in the floor or on your bed. What you're going to do is breathe in for half the counts that you're going to exhale. So right now I'm going to breathe in for 4 counts and I'm going to exhale for 8. You want to make sure that your abdomen rises and you want to keep it up and expanded while you are exhaling. So the idea is to keep on expanding how long you can do the hiss out, or you can do the out breath as pursed lips like a P, or you can even make a singing tone like this. So the idea is to keep your body expanded and exhale for as long as possible. The second one I'm going to show you is, as the doctors have suggested, breathing lying on your stomach. If you have congestion in the lower lobes of your lungs, it's important to put 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 pillows underneath your hips. That will tilt your hips up so that the congestion will be moved up your airways and hopefully out. I would also suggest doing some of these exercises on either side. It is very important when you have any kind of pneumonia that you vary your body position and you vary your positions when you do your breathing exercises. Lie on your side with your knees bent. Have one hand underneath your head. Take your hands, pinch your waist, and press down. So you want to breathe in and feel your stomach expand, and your back expand, and your waist fill up. And then exhale on an S, like this. Make sure that your breathing is slow. Breathing through your nose is a good idea. And your exhalations are as long as possible. After you've done the exercise on one side, flip over onto the other side. It's really great for varying your positions and getting your lungs to expand in all different ways. This is my beautiful mother, Charlotte Joachim. She was very ill last summer, and in fact, she was on a respirator for a number of weeks. She was intubated so long that we had to have her extubated and a tracheostomy done. But she came through it wonderfully and learned to speak and swallow and breathe all on her own. We are going to show you now one of the exercises that we did to get her breathing going and to get her phonating. Are you ready to show the PKRG viewers
this
exercise? Okay, all right. This is a fun one. So what is in this cup? We have a straw, and it's a bendable straw, and there's just a little bit of water at the bottom, about 3/4 of an inch. So you get your cup, right?
Okay.
I'm going to get my cup. So the first thing that we do is you make sure that it's bent, and you blow into it. You take a really slow breath through your nose, and then you just blow into it with a making bubbles. Now this exercises the breath because you're breathing in slowly and you're exhaling really slowly, and the pressure gets equalized by the water and concentrated by the straw. And we can also make some sounds. Are you ready to do an engine rev for me?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'll show you. Now do it gently. Good, very good. Now we're going to do a big, long siren, which is a low note to a high note, and that exercises your vocal cords and your air. You ready to do a siren with me?
Yes.
Right? So you're going to breathe in slowly through your nose and then do the siren. I'll show you. Good. And just to make it fun, you can do any song you like. And let's just do the beginning of the Star Spangled Banner. Right? I'm going to start on da. Let's do it, right? So you can have fun with this using your air, using your straw, and it's really healthy for everything. The last exercise I'm going to show you is lung clearing. So the most important thing that you want to do when you're clearing your lungs is take a deep huff, not a shallow one. So you want to take a few breaths and breathe out on an H, and then I'm going to breathe out on a K to clear. So I'm going to show you a few deep breaths and then an H. That will clear from way down low, not no panting with that. You could pant a little bit to loosen, but then to feel like you're going to breathe and clear from deep inside your lungs. The other way to clear some mucus that you might have in the upper airways is to use a K. So you'll do a little bit of shallow breathing and then a deep breath and then a big strong K. And that should move some of the junk up and out. Now COVID-19 has a dry hacking cough, but there's also deep lung congestion, and anything that you can do to move that out is very important. What is never good no matter what kind of an upper respiratory infection you have is throat clearing, like when you're going that does nothing but irritate your airways. You want to take a slow, deep breath and move that congestion out so that it's productive. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to wish you good health. I want you to get as much medical attention as you can get from people if you need it. And just to wish you good health, lots of breathing, and to suggest that while you're staying at home, that you do some singing. Singing is always good for your health. Don't care who's listening, just put on your favorite songs, sing. It'll strengthen your spirit and also your voice and breathing.